All right, y'all. What's going on?
What's
Welcome
up?
to From the Block.
From the block.
What's up,
Woo.
How's everyone doing? What's going on? What's
I'm
the tea?
here, so
Yep, I'm alive and well.
So am I.
Yeah.
Well, guys, so as y'all can see on camera, there's a fourth person here.
wow.
First
Special
guest
guest.
of the new year. Please, everyone, give it up. Warm round of applause for
Philip Karaya.
Pause. You guys said serial entrepreneur.
Serial entrepreneur.
Y'all see, he got
Philip
his
Karaya.
business suit on.
Period.
Very official.
Exactly.
Period.
Exactly.
Okay, so Phil, right? Well, there's a lot of stuff that we just want to get into. We are on a time limit, so you have to come back for part 2 because the people gonna need
You
that.
have to. You have no.
But please,
You have no choice.
right? Okay, but please, quickly, just introduce yourself.
Yeah.
What do you do? Who are you? Talk about all your degrees, accomplishments, accolades, all of that.
Yeah.
What's going on? My name is Phil. Like they were saying, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I know this wonderful person to my right, like another little sister of mine. Anyways, I went to Georgia State for undergrad and grad school. My undergrad was in public health and public policy. My master's was in business and finance. What I spend time doing, I do business and finance consulting, real estate development, rental properties, rental cars, equity in a tech company, nonprofit that does other stuff, and taught as a professor here for 2 years.
Literally insane.
I mean,
so
wow.
much stuff.
I'm trying to shorten it up. Yeah.
Period. Wait, hold on. This is tab off topic, but
Yeah.
when you was teaching, right?
Yeah.
Did you teach your first semester or did that start second semester of grad school?
No, I taught my first semester because also when you
Damn.
teach, you get free grad school. So
Wow.
yeah,
Okay.
If you teach, you
We
get
did it.
free grad school?
yeah, you can be like a GRA, a GA, a SA, a GTA, which is like a graduate teaching assistant, but you're actually the professor. But yeah,
Are you saying? Yo, maybe
Does
I
this
should
go?
try that.
Does this go for most schools or this? Oh well, here. Look, free game on From
Yeah.
the Block.
boom boom.
There you go.
Boom, boom.
Okay, Phil. So the very first thing that I want to get into, right? Because we see this literally all over social
Oh, wait,
media.
hold on. Move your thing from in front of your face. Okay, yeah, that's better.
Okay.
Because your thing was in front of your face. Okay, it's fine.
Shout
Now
out
we
to you,
can-
Alex.
Of course.
Keeping the show on lock. Okay, so we see this all over social media, right? I could go on Lil Baby's profile on Instagram, Lil Durk or whatever. I see these weird, I don't even know, animal characters on their profile.
The skin monkey.
Yeah.
With the blindfold.
But they're called NFTs.
Yeah.
So, okay, can you please explain to us what is an NFT? Let's just start there.
Sure, and an NFT is a non-fungible token, right? And so you can utilize NFTs for a lot of different stuff. And if you're interested in learning more, the tech company that I work with is called Render ATL. We'll be doing a conference here in January, February, and a bigger one in July, where you have a bunch of software engineers that'll literally break down how to do a bunch of this stuff anyway. So I'm gonna give you a
At
snippet
Render
version.
ATL. It's going to be up here.
It's gonna be awesome. It's really really fun because we're also having a music festival in the midst of all that other
Ooh,
stuff.
okay,
Anyways,
okay.
so with NFTs, they can be utilized for art. You see all those pieces of artwork, and then you can utilize that to sell. And also you can have things that have utility. So the utility more so at certain conferences, you have to have certain NFTs to get in, right? For myself, I have an NFT, and rather than just being all right, this is a cool picture I made, you'll enjoy it. It was I also gave access to an online Discord that I do where I do private stuff and talk about how to do a bunch of other stuff. So it's not just you're getting this piece of, art, you also get utility with it. And so there's a lot of different ways you can do it and spin it, and I don't know how much we have time to go into art and the fact you can launder money and do a bunch of other stuff, and that's a whole nother piece of an unregulated space. It's also cryptocurrency and NFTs, but at a simple form, it's also where you can lock up intellectual property, because you're literally known when you buy it on the blockchain that you're the one and only owner. And so yeah, you can protect intellectual property that way as well.
Wait, I have a quick question.
What's up?
How?
I got a question too.
Yeah, so you have an NFT and it's how do you know it's just yours?
Because it'll show how many owners are, and it's verified when you buy it on the blockchain that that is solely yours.
Oh, okay.
So that's how you can prove who's what is what, and then you can depending on how you do certain stuff, people be like, oh, I can sue this person for using my image or my intellectual property, etc.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, that's cool. So let's say with the picture that you bought, if someone wants to make a T-shirt or a book cover, you could sue them because that's your image.
Yeah, they're supposed to pay you for doing those things, and then you can also charge royalties for people. Anytime they sell your art, you can charge royalties for that as well. But yeah, so this is the NFT. And so it's like first 100 clubs. So like the first 100 members. So anyone that bought it.
Show it on that
oh,
one
got
right
it.
there.
Can y'all see? All right. That's as good as y'all can get. So when they buy it, they get 3 months to my Discord, which is normally like $450 for like $80. And then also they can schedule a one-on-one consultation with me for 30 minutes. So yeah, it makes it a cool and easy way to challenge people to like get into the space, but also get something of value out of it.
Yeah,
that's cool.
So look, I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
It seems right, like getting into the NFT space. It seems like you kind of have to, your pockets have to be a little heavy. Or is that necessarily not the case?
Not necessarily, because there are people that have bought NFTs that are for like $80. I know one dude, he bought one in, when did Will buy that? I think it was sometime in like January, February. Bought it for like $500. It's worth over $300K.
Oh,
so,
wow.
Yeah. So there's instances like that, but in a lot of those cases, you don't know that's actually going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of it can come around like hype, and there's a lot of speculation and market manipulation. That's a whole other conversation and stuff. But yeah, you don't necessarily need money to do it. You can also just create, because like say you grow your platform and what you're doing here, and you guys decide to capture the first image of you guys being here, whatever episode it is, and then you put it in an image, you make it an NFT, and then you sell it off to like people that listen to your podcast. And you can make money doing that. And you can make these relatively cheap as well. So, yeah.
I mean, but how does it gain value?
You're really what adds the value to a lot of different stuff, which is the same way like when you see celebrities or athletes launch clothing brands or partnerships, you see stuff skyrocket because of who they are.
Okay.
And so it's similar like that, but art can be subjective. So sometimes it's like CryptoPunks is one that's like really, really popular. So sometimes it's just notoriety that's gained like over the internet. Because we've seen a lot of internet brands go viral on like TikTok, even like artists like Jack Harlow that ended up going viral on TikTok, and now he's making a whole bunch of money from that. So the internet is a very interesting place, but normally it's based off your brand likeness and like the audience that you've built. That's how you monetize anything.
Okay.
Damn, that's
Like self-marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
That's really great to hear. Okay, so the next thing I want to get into, right, because I guess just kind of moving off from the topic of NFTs, which is basically investing, right? But investing, right, it's a really big thing because you can basically become a millionaire off of investments. Sure. But oftentimes, though, right, I know everyone, well, not everyone, but like a lot of people, they don't really know where to start or like how to start. So what's the easiest way, right, to start investing your money? Because as you know, income tax season is coming up soon. Oh, college refund check season is approaching soon. And folks are, a check is gonna come real soon. But how should they invest that? So therefore that, let's say if they invest like 200 in something, they could flip that 200 to like 20K.
I say
20K.
20K.
I say invest in your knowledge before you invest in anything, right? Because you'll have instances where you can invest $200 and make 200K, 20K, 2,000, but the likelihood of you being able to do that consistently is like nothing. Like, it doesn't sound great. It's not sexy to be like slow money is really what wins, but slow money is really what wins. Because
say that again.
Slow money is really what wins.
Slow it down.
Because y'all remember that time period when all them Forex people used to harass people and was like, yeah, I'll be making 20K.
The period, they still do that.
Nah, if you really want to get to the bottom and see someone that say, show me your bank statements for like your end of year summary for the last 12 months.
Facts.
Jeez, that's really aggressive.
The proof is always in the pudding. But nah, if you're telling me that you're making this money consistently, I'm not asking you to give me no money. Just show me that it's true. Open up a bank account. Like, if you can't show that, then like there's no proof to like what you actually do.
Yeah.
So if I'm like, hey, look, you should take advice for about like how to do this or how to invest $100,000. I can show you deals that I've invested $100,000. Show you wire transfers and be like, oh yeah, this is when we did that. This is what we did.
Yeah.
This is that. Because like the proof is always in the pudding. If people are afraid of showing you that, then you should be mindful of like what they're actually doing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
That's a bar. That's a word.
That's a bar.
So I like how you said how slow money, that's basically the best way to make money.
Yes.
So what books should people read or what website should they log on to start kind of learning where to invest their money?
I mean, YouTube University is always a thing because it also depends on like what you want to invest in. I don't know if people are interested in getting into, say, real estate. You can be getting into Airbnb, into wholesaling, into rental properties, into development, talking about investing in markets, you could be getting into cryptocurrency, you could be getting into Forex, you can get into stock options, you can get into futures, you can get into binary options. Like, there's so many different things
So
you can...
much stuff.
Yeah,
right?
there's so much different stuff you can go to. And I think, like, the basis of just realizing, like, all right, I want to start here and learn some stuff. A really great unbiased place is Investopedia.com. Investopedia is a great place. It's almost like a Wikipedia for investing stuff. And then really you can go on YouTube and, you know, find different people. You want to find the people that aren't selling stuff but are giving information. Because the people that really make money don't care about you signing up to make courses and do all
Yeah, I ain't
this
gonna
stuff.
cap. I don't like it when I see like, okay, DM me for 30-minute consultation. Okay, that's gonna be $200, and it's like, I feel like in this day and age, you can get anything off of just YouTube or just researching for free.
I'll spend a caveat on that only because I charge more than $200 for 30 minutes to sit down and talk with me about stuff. And so, and strangers pay me that.
Okay.
It's because you're knowledgeable. You
Correct,
know?
because
Like
yeah, in a lot of cases, you're not paying for the information. You're paying for the time it takes to accumulate it and be able to disseminate it and explain it really fast and to the point. Like, if you're like, all right, cool, I need to know like what I can do with $100,000 or how to get $100,000 to do X, Y, and Z, I can break that down really fast. But how many people actually have the knowledge, expertise, and have actually done it that you can actually get access to? And time is valuable. So,
yeah, time is money. Period.
yeah. But if they don't have experience and different stuff, there's no reason like you can charge that kind of money. But like I said, the proof is in the pudding always. So see what kind of stuff they're doing. Ask to see what kind of projects they've done. Ask to see proof of what's going on. And then you get to decide, all right, cool, am I going to invest in this or like not invest? Because you can spend the time, but like eventually you get to a point you realize that time is way more valuable than money. I would much rather drop $100 to give someone $100 and give them an hour of my time if I didn't want to, easily.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's dope. So, okay, since everyone's about to get a check real soon, right?
Yeah.
What do you think is the easiest investment for students to get into?
I don't necessarily, like I said,
Okay,
knowledge
my
first.
bad.
Investing
Okay,
in knowledge first.
knowledge
But I got
first.
you. But I would say also that in investing in like goal setting or people that can help you accurately do goal setting. Because it sounds good, whatever. It's like, oh, like I want to make $100,000. I want to make $1 million in a year, X, Y, and Z. The percentage of people that can actually do that successfully and they can actually show you how to do that, one, you normally don't have access to them. You don't know they exist because they're too busy actually doing stuff, not spending time marketing or whatever they have going on until they get to a point where they've made enough money and have basically made all that stuff automated where they're like, all right, cool, now I have time to like sit back, sell courses, and I can do something once a week because my time is still valuable, so I'm not just going to give it out for free.
Yeah.
The game's to be sold, not told. People don't value what's free.
Yeah.
So really, if you break down
That's
how to
very
do
true.
X, Y, and Z to everything, it's just like, oh, like, I'm not, whatever. But if you have to pay $10,000 to get in that room to listen to it, you'll make some shape.
Yeah. I have a quick question.
Yeah.
So you're a financial consultant.
I am.
And so do you think it's important to, I guess, if you're getting a financial consultant to like keep the same one instead of like, I guess, change because that one like understands your situation? Like,
Anyone that's good at the job should be able to understand your situation within a handful of like meetings with you, because it's not just about understanding your situation; it's about understanding you and what's actually important to you, like what you actually want to achieve and do. Like the point is just to be a tool to help someone get there faster.
yeah.
So it's like if you're focusing, like we're talking about writing. If you're focusing on writing, you just signed a big deal X, Y, and Z. But you're like, all right, cool. I need this money to go here, 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 here. If you have to spend time thinking about that, and that's not your area of expertise. You're gonna be wasting time.
Yeah.
When rather it's just I can hire someone that's really great at that, and then boom, they can take care of stuff. But it's not just about understanding the situation. It is really about understanding people and relationships, because what's important to you is not important to her. It might not be important to her and isn't important to me. So every situation is different, and if you don't like someone in the way that they're conducting business, how you guys interact, whatever, it's completely fine to change that, because like you want to feel comfortable, and you especially want to feel comfortable who's helping you manage and advise your money.
Yeah.
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 Where do you think students should go, or like what should they tap in? Where should they tap into to find like really great business mentors?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Not super tough, because really it comes down to understanding exchanges of value, right? And so when it comes to someone that's achieved and done a lot, right, they have everything to offer you because you don't know anything, right? And the way that you can really get access to those people and actually like get their time is to figure out, how can I help you? The simplest question that people miss out on so much is, how can I help you? Because like if you're pissed because like say you randomly, like someone randomly like messages me and is asking me 1,001 questions. I'm pretty good at like, I'll respond to DMs here and there, but like when I'm in go mode, I'm in go mode. Like yesterday, my day started at 7:45 and didn't end till 2 a.m. And that's throughout meetings, business, and like taking care of a lot of other stuff. So unless people are paying me or they're already on my calendar, like it's not a high priority, right? Yeah. In comparison to someone that like, say like one of my assistants or something, they're helping me do stuff. Yeah. So when they need stuff too, it's like, oh, bet I got you because you add value to my life in other ways. Because it's not always about money. They don't always care about you having money. Figure out how to save people time. And you'll definitely, they'll give you access to a lot.
Also, I want to know your opinion on this, right? Especially like working with people who have money. I feel like a lot of people, I think pride gets in the way. But also like, when just like how you said, just offering your services and saying what can you do for them. I think working for free too.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people don't like to talk about that.
Oh, I worked for free for the longest for a handful of people. But you have to be very selective with the kind of people you work for free with.
That's very true.
Because the people I was working for free with had $30 million in real estate. ran a multi-million-dollar company for 25 years. Ran a huge consulting firm for a handful of years. So yeah, I worked for free, but the game that I got from that, invaluable. Those are the people that I did my first deals with. Those are the people that helped coach me into doing a lot of different stuff. Those were some of my first investors.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So
getting your foot in the door.
Yes.
You heard it here first. I think the two most important things that students should know, or really just like young people in general, don't be afraid to work for free.
Right.
And
for the right people.
Yeah, work for the right people.
Mm-hmm.
And also, like, you have to offer something as well. Like, just don't think that you can just slide your way in and just be chilling with folks who have money. Make sure you have something to offer.
Because they're super careful about the people that they hang around and, like, give access to. Most people, they ask me, especially short notice, if it wasn't her, no. Like, that's easy. It only takes 2 weeks out for me to even consider getting on in front of somebody.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you should definitely know your audience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm so curious to know, like, what books do you like to read? I feel like I'm a guess. First one, 48 Laws of Power. You just give me that vibe.
That's fascinating. Robert Greene is a very interesting author, to say the least. I read a lot of stuff around like leadership, personal development, and of course like finance. One of my favorite books, or some of my favorite books, Outwitting the Devil is a really good one. You can get the audiobook for free on YouTube. It's basically a conversation between Napoleon Hill, who wrote a really popular finance book, Think and Grow Rich. But this book I actually like way, way more. It's basically a 3-hour conversation with him and the devil. Watch it. That's all I'm going to say. Check it out. Cool. Got that. 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth by John Maxwell. One of the things is like always learning like how to grow and having a growth group. Because accountability takes a huge point. Because as long as like we talk about, we want goals, we want to knock all this stuff out, but you don't have people to really hold you accountable, it's easy to not hold yourself accountable. I know I'll be skipping out on eating right and going to the gym all the time. But if I had someone, like when I have trainers and I got someone beating at my door at 8 o'clock, like, you need to get up and do it, like, I'm going to get up and do it. Because accountability makes so much of a difference. So 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth, Outwitting the Devil, and Third Circle Theory. Really, 3 really good books that I've gifted out a lot. But you can check out Outwitting the Devil for free on YouTube. Just type it in and audio and it'll come up. Yeah. And Boundaries. Boundaries is also a really good book because you got to learn how to have those and be okay with saying no and being a good self-steward. I can hear you huffing and puffing.
We've had this conversation
We
like
surely
a year
have.
ago. Yeah.
We surely
That's dope. That's dope.
Okay, I gotta ask before this interview is over. It's been a discourse on Twitter, but a dinner with Jay-Z or you taking the, how much they say it was like,
Was it $500K?
Yeah,
or something?
$500K or.
It depends.
I would take the money.
It depends. It depends on who you have access to and stuff. Just because of like a lot of the worlds that I'm already in, I'd likely take the money. But that's just because of like,
you already have the knowledge.
Yeah.
not only I have knowledge, I have access to a lot of people with knowledge. Like I've met a handful of billionaires, so it's kind of just like, that money I could use that to go do something else. And but I'm sure that there's a lot of stuff and value you can get out of that. But it also depends. Like if it's a caveat of like meet with Jay-Z, and depending on if you pitch him, he'd be willing to help you.
Right.
That might be different. Because you can sit down and talk to people all day. Don't mean they're going to add you anything or actually give a crap about helping you do anything. So, yeah. What you got?
Nothing.
That's cool.
I got another question.
Yeah.
Okay, so right, a market that I'm like super interested in is real estate, right? But I know for a fact, right, that besides becoming an agent, right, there are different ways in real estate to make money.
Yeah.
What are those different ways?
So you can make money wholesaling, which is basically doing contract assignment. Take the phone case that's on here, because it's the same thing for like drop shipping. It's just like at a bigger level, right? So I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna make an offer. You're gonna make this offer to me for $100, right? And you're like, I get a due diligence period of 14 days where you either have to purchase it for $100 or you can back out without any penalty, right?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go and market it to both of them. Hey, I got this great phone case and I'm selling it for $150 or $200. And then it's like, okay, cool. One of them is like, all right, you know what? I'll give you 140. Another person's like 160. All right, bet 160. So now you're gonna buy the case from me for 100 and then sell it to her for 160. And that's the same thing. It's just this would be a house, and that's what wholesaling is, right? So that's one aspect. Then you have development, which is actually like building houses up from scratch, which is a super fascinating process to watch and do. We actually just built one house in Hateville, and we're in the middle of building 11 townhomes in Atlanta. And so that's really, it's just really interesting to do. But that's building from the ground up. Then also you have like the rental industry. So that could be everything from just having straight out rentals, short-term rentals as far as like Airbnbs or like VRBOs, or you could also have like Section 8 housing. So you have something always subsidized by the government. And then you also have like being a broker. You could be a land broker, real estate broker. Then you also have like commercial real estate. And then you get into a bunch of different stuff like triple net leases. Then you actually have being like a real estate agent, or like a commercial real estate agent. But yeah, so there's there's a handful of different avenues where you can do a lot of different stuff. It just depends on what you want to learn. And if you're interested in learning about some of that stuff, check out Empire Board of Realtors. I sit on their board too. And and also one of the committees is Young Realtors Division, which I sit over their chair for. And one of the things that I'm working on now is like a pathway program. So when people that are young are like, hey, I want to get into selling real estate, we have a pathway like where we have not only like information, but we have mentors that are actually going to be there and walk with people. Because really the thing that's way more powerful than like having a book is having access to like talk to somebody just like this.
Yeah.
Like having access to something like this is really what makes so much more of a difference than reading 1,000 books, because they can give you all the shortcuts. You don't have to read between lines. You don't have to guess anything. It's like, all right, what worked for you? Okay, bet. Let me tell you how to do that. Like I was editing a video when I was coming over here on like how to spend 1 million travel points. Cause like I'm into like travel hacking and I like traveling, and like I normally accumulate like 500K points, and then I just spend it on travel, and then I reaccumulate it. But I naturally get those points just from business spend. And so even stuff like that, someone breaking it down to you in a quick conversation in comparison, like I got to read about it, I got to read more blogs about it, in comparison, like, all right, no, this is how you do this, and you're done. So yeah, check it out. Check out Young Realtors Division, Empire Board of Realtors. Check it out. We'll be putting together some cool stuff and programs. We're doing a mixer on the 26th. I don't know when this episode's coming out, but we're doing a mixer next week on Thursday. So by all means, feel free to come out, check some stuff out, meet some cool folks in real estate.
So some of the things that you mentioned, right? I guess besides being like an agent and besides being a broker, you don't need your license for some of those things,
For
right?
investing, no, not at all.
Okay, so
I don't have my license. Yeah.
So it's basically just like connections and just being knowledgeable on certain things.
Knowledgeable, having access to money, or understanding financial structuring. Because like, I'll give another thing. So a lot of people struggle to be able to qualify to get a home, right? Because normally you need 2 years of income, great credit, stability, all that other stuff. You'd be able to debt service whatever debts you do have. But like you do have like DSCR loans. So DSCR loans are loans where you literally can get, you have to have more of a down payment, almost like 20%, but you can get rental properties just based off the cash flow of what that rental property will get. So it's information like that where it's like, if you don't know, you don't know. And if you don't know someone that can tell you those things, like you would never have an idea that like, oh, like y'all could just pile together money and then go to a bank with a new LLC with no history or anything, put down 20%, and then give the bank the underwriting, the financial model where it's just like, all right, we see that in this area rents for this, this, and this, we can make this, and they'll give you the loan for the property. Yep.
That's insane.
Yeah,
That is-
the more you know.
That's crazy.
That's
The more you know.
So I'm really curious to know, right? Because like you mentioned before, you got your bachelor's degree here at State and your master's, right? So I mean, school is stressful. Like that's it's a no-brainer.
Life stressful.
Yeah, that's very true. So what were you doing to generate income back in your undergrad days?
Hustling.
Period.
I always worked a bunch of different jobs. I started my first business officially when I was 21. And then eventually, like, my point was to get to a point where I could make my monthly income weekly. And I was like, once I tackled that, then I can leave doing anything else. And I was making 20-something an hour at my last job. And then eventually I got to that point, and then I went full-time into doing business, and it just ended up steamrolling into, like, a bunch of other business ventures, et cetera. But it really started off with, like, business and finance consulting, because people don't know numbers or stuff about business, and they need help. So
it's like goal setting. Like, you gotta, like, you know, start somewhere, set that goal, meet that goal.
Facts. I'll never work with anyone if I ask them, like, you know, what are you trying to make over the next year, and they're like, more money. I'll never work with you.
Yeah, like, that's not...
It's not feasible.
Yeah.
I could give you $1 more. You just made more money.
Made more money,
yeah. No. But yeah, so
specific goals.
Definitely working, doing different stuff. Like, when I was really trying to get into investing, when I got out of school, like, that fall break, I literally worked, like, 5 jobs in, like, 80-hour weeks. I was driving Uber, Lyft, working in 2 pharmacies, and driving almost to Tennessee to work for Fitbit because I was hungry. And it's like, if you're not willing to sacrifice, like, that kind of thing, like, and not saying everyone, you need to push yourself to, like, that kind of level, because I hate the whole, like, no sleep, da-da-da-da, like, nah, like, you really do need rest, because, like, rest is what allows you, like, longevity and, like,
I don't know that. You said you're working 80 hours a week. I'm going to sleep as you get.
You can do anything for a short amount of time, right?
Yeah.
Not prolonged periods. So, like, even days like yesterday when, like, I can start at 8 a.m. and I end at 2 a.m., but, like, I can sleep 6 hours and then get up and go do whatever I need to do. So it's like, it just depends on what you're structuring and doing things you actually enjoy. I enjoy everything I do. If I didn't want to do anything, including this, I would just not do it.
Yeah.
You fill your time with things that actually fulfill you. You fill your life with people that pour into you, and you just have a much more balanced life. Because then also, if you're like, hey, like, I can't make it, I can't do it, you're not disappointing anyone. You'd be disappointing yourself if you do it, and you do it from a place where you're going to have resentment that you didn't rest. So, yeah. You got to be willing to hustle, though. Got to be willing to hustle. If you're not willing to, like, work, do school, and find, like, the money isn't going to fall out the streets or the sky. I mean, right? But, like, this is some of the easiest times, like, to make money when, like, you're in school. Because even one of the easiest things you can get, you can apply for as many scholarships as you want. That is the freest money you can literally get. Like, there's no one giving scholarships and grants for just living life outside. I mean, of course, like, STEMI checks and stuff, but that's because we were in a panoramic. But that's a whole different conversation. But really, like, on a regular, like, day-to-day basis, like, there's no one that's going to be like, hey, here's $5,000 just for being smart.
Yeah.
I knew people when I was an undergrad that were making $30,000 a month just off their, not a month, but a semester over their scholarships. Pure.
That's insane.
No loans, nothing. Pure scholarships.
That's insane.
$90,000 a year just off of doing that many scholarships. Because they're like, oh, I can take all this money and, like, go do this and go do this and and they still work the job. Still. Because they were hungry. But yeah, that perspective of, like, yo, like, this is an easy time, so, like, really, like, utilize that for anything. Like, college is really about the people you meet. Also, because, like, I knew people that graduated that had 4.0s, couldn't find a job paying more than 40. People that graduated like 2 point whatever, but they had connects. They had a 6-figure job lined up as soon as they were done.
Speak on it.
It's all about connections.
Yeah,
it is.
You have to put yourself out there.
It's both. It'll get you in the door. You just gotta be smart enough to keep yourself in the door once you get in there. But you don't have to worry about being so perfect unless you're planning to go to, like, law school, medical school, nursing school, engineering. That's a little. You gotta be on your stuff and make sure your scores and stuff is, like, perfect. But if you're doing other stuff, you definitely want to have, like, that work-life balance and make sure you're cultivating, like, relationships that you really get to a point of understanding, like, what friendship really is. Because I think we use that word a little too loosely.
Oh, yeah,
as far
100%.
As, in comparison to, like, really finding, like, your core support group that's going to be there with you, like, as you go through life. People that, like, really have your back and you have their back. And it's only but so many people you can logically do that with. So, yeah.
That's dope. You had another question too, Angel.
Go for it.
Oh, it's really just about, like, money management because that's a real big struggle of mine.
Same.
It's just, like, any tips for young adults for managing your money?
Yeah, set your goals. And I think depending on your financial situation when you're in college, that can be really tough, especially if you don't work a regular job or you don't, like, come from money or, like, get regular allowances and different stuff. Like, you're in a survival mode, right? But if you have stability as far as, like, money you have coming in, you know, whether you utilize a refund and ration that thing out very smartly or you're working a regular job to do whatever else you need to do so you can keep yourself afloat, the biggest thing is, like, understanding your goals. Because if you understand what your goals are, if you're like, hey, look, I need $6,000 by the end of next year, all right, let's break it down. That means in 12 months, you need $500 a month. Cool. Now you know your goal. You will, if it's really something you want, if it's like that $6,000, like would allow me to do the program of my dreams and like go do this, like you know what you want. You're gonna align yourself with that. But if you don't have a goal, kind of like, oh, like I want to be better with my money, but like, what are you actually doing with it?
Right.
What do you actually want to do with it, right? So it's like gray area goals get gray area results. But like once you concretely like, all right, bet I want to save this amount of money, or I want to invest this amount of money, I want to help do this, I want to take this kind of trip. And there's a lot of other ways you can get to like cut those costs. But if it's like just straight money, really understanding what those goals are makes so much more of a difference with how you move.
Okay.
Yeah. And then just using stuff like Mint, and the same thing we're talking about accountability. All right, all your friends bet. All right, we set our budgets, we look at it, we review at the end of the year, and there's a penalty if you don't line up. Imagine if every time you didn't line up with your budget, you had to pay other people $100 a time.
Ooh, yikes.
You would move different.
Yeah,
You would move
definitely.
different.
Yeah, real different.
Maybe I should get
Real
this $13 meal.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So you see how big like accountability can make so much of a difference with how you do everything. So like having those right people you can be accountable with, like it'll take you a lot farther.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's dope. Yeah. Well, I know you have to go because you have like hella stuff to do.
Always, but go ahead. You got one more, go for it.
Yeah, one more question.
Yeah.
So you mentioned, right, how when you were 21, that's when you started your first business, correct? Right? Okay, so
officially, legally, I did, yeah.
Legally, so right?
I was selling candy in elementary school. That was my mom's thing. Like, you've always been doing business stuff.
I was legally doing
just honesty. Okay, so just like honesty time, right? On From the Block. Your first year in business, how was it? Because I feel like a lot of times people get discouraged when, you know, they do the right steps to establish their business.
Right.
But, you know, the first year is always, I feel like it's always the roughest year.
Stop trying to rush success.
Yeah.
Most businesses don't last 3 to 5 years. You're not going to pop. Well, I mean, you can pop off in year one. And God, I hope that it works out for everyone and you make crazy amounts of money. But I think when you make money too fast without understanding stuff, you normally don't have processes in place to scale or to be sustainable. And so like I had a client that they were making $30,000 a year for like 10 years. Then COVID happened, they shot up, made $900K, right?
Oh.
But because they had never managed such money before, what happened to it?
Yeah.
Oh wait, yeah.
In comparison to like step ladders, where it's just like, all right, we're making 50K, now we're going to 60, now we're going to 100, 130, 170, 200, we're going to go down, then we're going to go back up. And it's just like slow and steady wins the race always. And it's just like figuring out how to actually be sustainable. Because if you're so worried about like, I need to make a bunch of money, like are you actually putting processes in place? Are you taking care of like customer service? How's your customer retention? And it depends on like the type of businesses that you're actually in as well. But like really it's just about setting the foundation, enjoying the ride, and making sure you're not putting yourself in a position that like, if your business fails, you die, or like you fail. Because if you say you're like, all right, I'm jumping all ships, going straight into business, like I don't care about nothing else, I'm gonna make this work. But now you have the financial pressure of like, I have to survive, especially if you don't have family and like different stuff that like can help you financially. That means if it doesn't work out, you're on the street. Right. Your credit score gets messed up because now you're missing payments and you were leveraging credit to do all this other stuff. You kicked out your spot. And now you're really set back in comparison to like, oh cool, like I can take a job, make $50,000 a year, relax, I'm gonna work on my business as soon as I get off. That's my 9 to 5, this is my 5 to 9. And I'm gonna keep working until that point that like my business equals how much money I'm making. And then maybe I work a little bit more and now I'm making a little bit more. All right, forget the job. Now I can just focus on this. I have stability. I've had my months of investments to the side where it's like, if, lack of better words, if shit hits the fan, and it always does at some point, it's like I got 3 months of buffer where if I need to go back to work, I got the skill set. I can go and get money. So I'll be good in comparison to like, you don't have a buffer. You don't have anything to the side. You weren't ready. And then you just jump because everyone's just like, you got to take the leap. No, like all right, that's some people that be like, jump off a bridge with no parachute. Like,
yeah.
So it's like really figuring out like how to structure stuff, because also depending on your ability to tolerate stress as well, some people feel a lot more comfortable, and also family scenarios are very different in comparison. Like, crap, like I had a friend when I was in undergrad, family's from Nepal, he's going to medical school, family had money, right? Super low-key dude, a lot of people money are super low-key. He crashed one of his cars. And I was like, oh man, like I'm sorry to hear that, wires him $40,000 to go buy another car.
Oh, wow.
So it's like, there are different levels in different scenarios, and you don't know what people's back end looks like when they're just like, hey, like I'm pushing business, I'm doing different stuff. The difference between having family and investors, they're like, here's $100,000 with a blessing, go and work with it. In comparison to starting from scratch, And a lot of people, you see the results of what they do, but you have no idea what that back end looks like. You have no idea what the support system looks like. You have no idea what their finances actually look like.
True.
Some people get in a car accident where their kids have $100,000 waiting for them in the bank. I knew people that happened to. And so, yeah, just being very mindful of that and setting yourself up in a point that, like, you can moderate and move with the least amount of stress possible outside of the stress of actual, like, business, not survival. Because if you're so focused on survival, like, that only makes things so much worse. So.
I like that. And I love how you mentioned, too, the whole, like, 9 to 5, 5 to 9 thing.
Yeah,
because I hate how, like, our culture, our generation has, like, started this 9 to 5 shaming on social media.
Oh, God.
Like,
it's so dumb. Like,
it literally... Because I just feel like if you getting money, you getting money.
Facts.
And, like, nothing has to really last forever. It's okay to start... at a certain point, so therefore you can put in the work to get to where you really want to be.
I mean, say, like, take people that work in tech, for example, right? Y'all know what IPOs are?
No.
Initial public offerings. So this is when, like, companies go public, right? And so if you're working in certain companies and when you get, like, offer letters and stuff, you can actually get, when you get offer letters, sometimes they give you RSUs, which is, like, restricted stock, or they'll give you stock options to, like, get pieces in the company. I know one of the heads at Airbnb, and he was talking about how his engineers that got on there, they were making 6 figures, and they had RSUs and options. When Airbnb IPO'd, they made millions. Wow. And so even just working in certain industries and understanding how that side of stuff works, you can make $1 million easy. I know people that make $1 million for their salary. So, and that's money that they get guaranteed just for going to work.
Facts.
Entrepreneurship, I've had hella months where it's just like, you work, you do all this stuff, you spend money, and you still lose it. It's nothing guaranteed. You literally have to go and fight for it. You got to be built for it, but you got to understand there's nothing wrong. I think the real thing is, like, when I met one black dude at an event, and I think he said he had like $30 million like scattered between different stuff, but he still worked his 9 to 5. Why did he work his 9 to 5? He's like, I love what I do. I enjoy it. And he's like, if you really have businesses, they operate themselves. A lot of people confuse having a business with being self-employed. And if you're still running around, if you can't remove yourself from what's going on in your business fails, you're just self-employed. And you're going to work a hell of a lot harder for normally less money in the beginning. And then eventually, if it works out for you, you cross over to the other side where you're paid for more than what you do rather than, the opposite.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, but you can work in all these different industries, even different stuff in tech. Like, I have friends in tech that are engineers and stuff. They make $300K as a base salary outside of, like, commission and other stuff. And how many business owners can make $300,000 just and that's just 40 hours a week. So they still have a lot of extra time. They have PTO, and some of them are in management roles, so they really don't even work 40 hours a week.
They don't even work
at all. Right. And so really figuring out, like, doing what you really enjoy is the key. Not all this, like, you got to be an entrepreneur to, like, have freedom, time, and, like, happiness, because it's quite stressful until you figure it out.
Yes.
Until you figure out the real aspect of, like, money, or unless you have access to people that, like, are guiding you and showing you how to do stuff, you're walking around in the dark, and it's a lot of blind leading the blind. Same when you're talking about a bunch of people that are like, oh, like, you can quit this and make, like, $20,000 a day, like, and doing this and doing this. Like, show me the receipts. Yeah. Show me your bank statement for 12 months. Show me your end of year summary.
And then once you ask them that, that's when they start getting defensive. Man, forget you.
What you mean? Like, that?
But it's like, work your 9 to 5. Okay, I will.
Right. But when you meet the person that shows you that, and they're like, it costs $5,000 to sit in front of me, then you're really at that choice of being like, all right, cool. Like, if I really want to learn this, I got to sacrifice something. And it's either going to be my time and my money. And that's the point you get to bargain and be like, look, I checked out your marketing stuff, and it wasn't the greatest. I might be able to help you out with this, that, and the third. You need a personal assistant to do some stuff. I'll wash your car and do everything. And figuring out, because people will trade off time for money. You just got to figure out, like,
what they want, what
they want. How can I help? Yeah.
Facts. Well, Phil,
I know you
thank
go.
you.
This has been great.
This has been great. Plug yourself if you want.
Beneficial.
Please promise us that you'll come back for part 2, because it's like a whole lot more that I really want to ask, but you got to dip. So, look, he doing business calls on his phone right now. That's why he looked down at his screen.
I'm telling you that I'm about to get on in a second.
Do you have anything you want to promote before you go?
Sure. Check out Finance with Phil at Finance with Phil, or you can follow me on my personal page, Philip, PhilipKar.
Not here multitasking.
Karaya, Philip Karaya.
But and I post a lot of, like, free content about all types of stuff, and I have courses and online communities and all that good stuff. But I post a lot of great free content, so don't worry about paying me $500 an hour. It's fine. People that will. Other people just enjoy the free content. So.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, before you dip.
What's up?
Hold on now. So for all our students out there,
What's good?
would you be willing to let a Georgia State student intern for you?
I've had a handful of my old students from teaching here intern for me.
Oh, y'all,
that's great.
So y'all heard that here first. He's willing and open.
You gotta come correct.
Can they slide in the DMs? Do they need to email you or?
Yeah, I actually had an internship application that was up a while ago. I'll circle it back around. I'll send it to her. I can add it.
Okay, look, period, yo. We got y'all.
Yeah, because we got that, and I always have people that have businesses. So if it's the right people, there's always a place you can go, and you'll learn, and they'll teach you how to do all types of stuff. If you add the value, but if you BS, they will just cut you and let you lose because you have more to gain than they do.
Right.
And they can also afford to hire people. So, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You're always replaceable, so you're not.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah.
Figure out how to be a linchpin. If you figure out how to be a linchpin, you'll always win.
Period.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to work for free.
Facts.
Okay, Phil, we thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank
This
you.
was so good.
Pleasure.
for having me on.
Shout out to you. Please come back. Please come back for part 2 because you're so knowledgeable. We need it. So this has been really, really fun.
Nice.
All right, y'all. On for the next segment.
Okay, wait, hold on. You're
Now I do the dramatic like.
All right, so on to the 3 segments. So, Alex, what you got for us today?
So, on the mental health portion of From the Block, we're going to talk about therapists and, why it's important to find a good therapist. So basically, the main thing I want to say is be picky. Like, this is the time to be picky, be selfish, therapy is important, and you're going to find someone that you want to, tell your life to, you want them to be there for you, and it's important to find someone you're comfortable with. If you have a therapist, if you're with them for a week and you don't like it, switch therapists. It's not something that you have to stay with if you're uncomfortable. So, and there are, of course, different ways to find therapists. You can find therapists through your insurance. You can find just random therapists that take insurance, that don't. It's just, there's a lot of different ways, but the main point I want to make is, find a therapist that works for you. Find someone that you like, that you feel comfortable with, and, be flexible, be selfish, Find someone that makes you comfortable and makes you want to come back. And it's okay to switch therapists if you want, or if you want to stay with the same one, do that.
I've gone through 2 therapists.
Yeah, I've gone through 4.
I still haven't found the right one.
Yeah, literally just keep looking. Just keep looking. You'll find one, because there's a therapist out there for everyone, and that sounds so stupid.
Facts.
But if you keep looking, and Phil was talking about boundaries, set your boundaries, what you want to do, what you want from the therapist, and then just stick to that. So, yeah. Therapy.
Don't feel bad for switching out your therapist.
Oh,
Thank you,
100%.
Alex.
Yeah, of course.
All right, Angel, what you got for us?
Corona time. Woo.
It's Corona time.
But yes, I'm giving you guys updates on Corona today. It's we're going in year 3.
Please stop.
That's so depressing.
I'm
to
literally
say.
about to start crying. Stop.
Oh my gosh. But yes, these are the facts that I've gotten today. COVID-19 hospitalizations have doubled in 15 states over the past 2 weeks. It's not funny, but it's just crazy.
It's insane.
Yes,
did y'all get sick
really
over Christmas?
I did.
I did too.
didn't.
Omicron is a bitch. Amarion, stop. Stop the tour. Yeah, stop the tour. Stop. But yes, it has set a national record for the pandemic and hospitalizations. So across the country, the average COVID hospitalizations have increased by more than 60,000 from December 27th to January 10th. This is coming from the Department of Health and Human Services data. And
that's crazy.
Yeah. The U.S. has set records for single-day COVID hospitalizations on January 9th for more than 142,000 patients.
The only records America's setting is just for a bunch of people going to the
It's
hospital for
always
COVID.
negative.
It's
always negative.
It's sick. I'm sick over it.
So yeah,
That's so
and
crazy.
you know, to save the day, the American government has done the bare minimum by
Period.
by giving giving families the option to get free COVID tests. But keep in mind, if you are more than a family of 4, it's pretty much fuck you, because you can only get 4 COVID tests per family household. And also, if you don't have insurance or you don't have a house or a residency, it's pretty much fuck you also, because
I did not know that you need insurance to qualify.
If it's more than 4, like say you have 5 or 6 people in your household, then you need insurance to get more than one.
I did not know
more
that.
than 4 COVID
That's
tests.
literally insane.
Yeah.
Like, this is a global pandemic. How are you going to put people in a box to...
So, yeah. Fuck homeless people, I guess.
Like,
also.
what? That's so stupid.
That's
People are...
crazy.
That's so dumb. We need to change.
But yeah, you can access these free tests at covidtest.gov. And that's USA Today. Yeah.
I think it takes like 2 weeks too for it to come to your house as well.
Yeah, also
Seriously?
it's been glitches in the system, so
Oh, child, not
What?
vicious.
Like, what's going on, man? Like...
I mean, it's 22 months into the pandemic.
I feel like
and
we should have like some stuff figured out.
yeah, like this is what they're doing.
Yeah, I feel like
Free
they made
COVID tests.
I feel like they made the vaccine and they're like, great. So now,
Yeah.
now we're gonna let you guys figure it out.
Right.
Like,
At this point, like
yeah,
every man for himself.
like seriously, that's so stupid.
So
That's
yeah,
wild.
that's what's going on today with that.
Well, I don't have too much to say except for last Friday, gonna drop the goddamn album up
I fucking love the
Drip
album.
Season Forever. And look, no cap, like on some on some real stuff. I think he's either gonna get Grammy nominated or he's gonna win a Grammy for this album.
Yeah.
Facts.
I haven't listened,
Real
so
P.
maybe I have to.
Oh no, you're not
Here
P.
you go again. Every time
Stop.
She's not P.
Stop.
She's not P.
Listen to it, yeah.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna start listening. I'm gonna listen to everybody's album, every single artist, all of their albums, so I'll be knowledgeable.
Please,
Next
we're gonna start giving you homework. Like,
P Power
Yes.
featuring Drake has been on repeat. Pushin' P featuring
Pushing P.
Oh,
She's
that's
not a
what that stuff
lesbian for
is?
P.
Yeah,
She
that-
turned lesbian. Pushing P.
That's what that stuff is.
like the P and like
Yeah,
the blue
P.
box.
Yeah.
Pushin' P.
Oh, okay.
It means you know like you push and play, like you doing some
Oh,
real
yeah,
shit.
play
yeah,
it,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
So
okay,
you
okay.
get
You not listening to the album is not P.
Yeah, that's not P.
It's not P.
I'm sorry.
But
I'll
you
listen.
getting Phil on the show, that's P.
Yeah, that's P.
That's
That
P.
was P.
But yeah, shout out to Gunna. I mean, no words. Drip Season Forever. Please make sure y'all continue to stream that. It's actually #1 too.
Oh yeah,
Is it?
And
Yeah,
it's
it's
gonna
number
continue
one.
being #1 because I play it every day.
Same.
Angel and Malika are keeping it at #1.
No, really.
Facts. Like on the car on the way here.
Literally. Every time I put in my headphones, the album is on repeat. Literally.
Literally. So shout out to Gunna. Yeah. Any closing remarks?
Shout out to
Anything?
Phil.
Yeah,
Don't
shout out
forget
Phil.
to follow him on.
So dope.
Tap in with him too.
Yeah, it's like Finance with Phil. Philip Correa is a great financial consultant.
Facts.
Super cool.
I think the lesson of the day, don't be afraid to work for free. Don't let it intimidate you. But be careful though, working
For
for
who
free.
you work for.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
make sure like you actually gaining something and you know how to maneuver your way and stuff.
Yeah.
And networking.
Yo,
So powerful.
it's about who you know. It's about who you
Yes.
know.
So
Yeah.
powerful. So powerful.
I feel like I'm in
Well,
church. So powerful.
Yes.
Well,
Preach.
y'all, this show has been really, really fun. This was our first interview.
Yes, this was our
Yes.
first guest.
Oh
It's
my
so
gosh, are you guys
exciting.
proud of us? Oh my god.
They are. I know they are.
And it's only up from here.
Period. P.
P.
We're gonna be pushing P all 2022 from the block. I don't know why I just did that.
Pushing prosperity.
Pushing prosperity.
Yes.
Woo. Say it again.
Pushing progress.
Ooh.
Pushing peace.
Ooh,
Yes.
man. I'm going to come up with a list of P words.
Literally.
Facts. Well, I had so much fun today. This was really dope.
This is a really good episode.
Yeah, and well, but yeah, disclaimer. So we dropping videos every Tuesdays and Thursdays. So that's what we doing for the new year. So check us out on YouTube, From the Block Pod, on Instagram. Follow us on Instagram at From the Block Pod.
Yeah.
On YouTube, From the Block Podcast.
Do that right now.
Right now.
Right.
Take out your phone
Listening.
right now.
Right now.
Period. Help us grow. Okay, well, until next time. Bye.
Bye, guys.